What up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter? How's it going? How you doing? Well, figured it'd be story time for a minute. Let's get into it. Hope everybody's having a good day and looking forward for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something good will happen. Maybe go out and, have you a little bit of fun. I got some surprises coming down the pipe. Trust me, it's gonna be cool. So I spent some time at a boys' home, and it it wasn't the most fun times or whatever. But I'll tell you how I got there. I don't know what exactly led me up to living in a boys' home. I just know that I got into a really bad fight at this middle school I was in down in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I pretty much got kicked out for beating up a black kid's behind, and they called me racist. But the thing is that I didn't want to join the gang. I wasn't in all the gang life and stuff like that, and had to defend myself. And, they kept trying to get me to do it and kept trying to get me to do it. And, finally I was like, F you, no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, you know what I mean? And, one day words got too heated and we started fighting, and I fought him, his friend. And, it got pretty bad, and things were said and punches were thrown, and I got kicked out the school and they didn't. So, go figure. Whenever you're the white kid in all black school, I'm not racist, I'm not saying nothing bad, but sometimes you gotta take one for the team, and that's what happened. And after that, I don't really know. Life was kind of like a blur because I was moving around so much, because I didn't live with my dad no more and had to stay with my grandparents again, and it was a process, and I was going to school, I thought everything was cool and all, and my grandma got sick, and one time after school, the school year in the summertime came, and summertime's almost over, and I was told that we're gonna go check this school out. I was like, oh, whatever, cool. And so we drove out in the middle of freaking nowhere, man. I'm talking about middle of nowhere. Drove out there into this place, and I can't really give no names, but it was out in the woods, I was pretty chill with it. I liked the woods, it's cool. And they told me that my grandparent, my dad and my grandpa told me, whenever you go check the school out, little boy. You go check the school out, and we'll be right here and see how you like it, and if you don't like it, and whatever, and if you do like it, you can stay. All right. So I already had in my mind I wasn't gonna stay at this motherfucker. I already had in my mind I wasn't staying there. So I was like, all right. So I went and did their little tour. You know what I mean? I went and did their little tour, and I came back to the front of the place, and I was looking around. I was like, shit, I had stuff to do today. I wanted to hang out with my friend and play Sega, and because I was back when Mortal Kombat 3 was lit, boy, for Sega Genesis. Y'all know with that 6-button controller, you get down. I had plans, I had stuff to do, and lo and behold, my stuff was just sitting on the curb thing, and I didn't pack no bag. I didn't pack nothing, I was looking, I was like, oh, this is some bullish right here, And so I got mad and sad all at the same time, got abandoned at the place, and whatever. I went in and they tried to feed me and stuff, and I stuck my nose up at it because I love red beans. I love beans and rice and stuff, but I guess I was so mad, my emotions were high, and, it just everything, I guess they were mopping too at the time, so like everything that smelled like pine saw, I know this is gross. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it, And, I cried a little bit. I was young, and that shit happened, So as the years went on, the year went on or whatever, I was doing pretty good, and I was mainly just focusing on school and stuff, because I'd get bullied and stuff, and people talk smack, and sometimes I get into fights. A lot of times I just get beat up, I didn't really know how to defend myself too good. I just was a big dude, and I got lucky in the last fight I had, and I used to get beat up a lot, I know, like, me, now that shit wouldn't happen, you know what I mean? But back then, I was a little timid kid, had a mouth on me sometimes, but mainly try to stay to myself, and I tried to fit in a lot too. That was my problem. I tried to fit in way too much, and I realized that that ain't the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to be cool with them kids, and I was only cool with maybe one or two of the people that were like counselors or whoever, like overseers. You know what I mean? And a few of them taught me how to play guitar, and that was cool. Until they decided to, one year because I stayed there for like 4 years. I wasn't there like, 30 days, nothing. It was a whole, like 4 years or something like that. Or I don't know. It was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous. And I had to live there. You know what I mean? And I do not like living with people no more since then. You know what I mean? I lived with all them people in the same damn house, doing the same stuff. I got yelled at because I tried to be a little different. You can't be different. It was like Christian communism. You know what I mean? But let's talk about some of the negative things. Or let's start with the positive. Let's do positive things. One of the positive things that I learned in that place is that I learned how to tolerate a lot of crap. Another positive thing is that I learned how to do grown-up stuff, like take care of a house and not bother nobody and do my own laundry and do things that my dad and people should have taught me, but they didn't. I learned all the basic stuff, And there's a little stint in military school. I'll talk about that later, but I don't really remember too much about it. Like I can tell you a little bit about it, but I don't remember all, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm 7 years clean off of doing a lot of drugs and stuff, so my brain's still playing catch up, and sometimes it just don't catch up, you know what I mean? So that is what it is. But another positive thing I learned is that I learned that Christian folk ain't always what they are. Yep, I learned that. I learned that people in the church is just as crafty, if not more crafty, than people on the street. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to go any more into that, but let's talk about the negatives. All right, some of the negative things I didn't like about that place was that, first off, people, they played favorites. I know that. They played favorites. I didn't like the church. I didn't like going to church. I didn't like being forced to do this and forced to do that. And a lot of that stuff, the people are like, oh, you was into that. Yeah, I was. Because I wanted you to think that. You know what I mean? Not into all that shit. I'm not. I tried to go to church not too long ago. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? Another negative thing about that place is that the school they had, for some reason, wasn't a real school. It was just like you learned out of these like workbooks and stuff, and that's cool and all, but just it wasn't what I was used to, Another negative thing is that I got picked on a whole lot, which made me hate a whole lot of people, And there were some people I was cool with, There were some people I was cool with, and some people I thought I was cool with, and other people, like, I could really give a shit if their house was on fire, you know what I mean? And that goes for some of the people that work there too, And but like I said, man, it was in the past, and they've had a few people, I think, try to get a hold of me from that place, and I don't want to talk to them. It's like, why should I have to talk to people I was locked up with for that long? And I understand that I've seen some of the people on the street, and some of them didn't even do me no wrong, but I don't want to talk to them because that was then. That would be like me going to prison and getting out and then still contacting and hanging out with the people I met in prison. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Like, whenever I cross that bridge to get there to talk to some of those people, I will. I still talk, sometimes I talk to the guy's son that owned that place, And he is him. You know, he's his own man. He does his thing. You know, but he's one of the first few people that, you know, took me under their wing for guitar. And, you know, I don't forget those kind of things. You know, now, he stood up for me some. You know, he was a good guy. You know, like I said, I'm not naming no names. I'm not saying what place it was or none of that. You know, I can't. So, overall, it was being in the boys' home was an experience that I'll never forget. You know, but I did listen to a lot of the knowledge they tried to give me about, you know, the church and all this other stuff, but I just didn't retain it because, you know, like all I saw was contradictions sometimes, you know. And it's just the past, you know what I mean? And you just gotta let the past be where the past needs to be, and that's behind you, you know. But maybe I'll do another video on this soon. I might label this part 1. I don't know, because I do have some stories from that place. But that's it for right now. I appreciate everybody for stopping in. Y'all take care of yourself and each other, and keep it brutal.